can levitate and you can fly today, tomorrow. And then like, why?
Come here and we change your life.
Yoga works for me. Oh, no, Pilates works for me. No, walking works for me.
What do I do to open my heart? What do I do? Do I go now on Insta? Do I go on Facebook? Do I use ChatGPT?
I want to become happier. I want to become more peaceful. I want to become more detached around life, or I want to have more success. What are the downsides of this method? What will I have to give up? Does it cover my health?
It's like going in a big supermarket where everywhere you can, no, do this, try this, no, this will change your life, no, this will change your life.
Age-old meditation practices like focus meditation, mindfulness practices, and those things work for me very well. Spiritual practices have been tested over time by so many people and then acknowledged.
Hello and welcome to the podcast Living Consciously. I'm Mihaela and together with Rajesh Ramani, we are going to have an open discussion, nothing planned so far, about meditation. For those of you listening to this podcast, I'm sure that you have tried many techniques and you have worked with many teachers. And if not, you might want to work with many teachers or to identify some techniques of balancing yourself, your nervous system. So we will cover today, together with Rajesh, this topic of how we discover what type of meditation or practice will balance ourselves. How do we get to that point? Because in what we talked yesterday evening, the two of us, is that I'm sick and tired of looking for the meditation that will balance me, the practice that will ground me. And we talked about the fact that I was attending Joe Dispenza retreats, that I did with Sadhguru Shambhavi Mahamudra, Kriya, the Theta healing, Reiki, everything on this planet, breathing techniques and so on. I didn't establish myself in one thing, and I cannot tell you after years and years of searching that this one is helping me grow in the sense of feeling more fulfilled, balanced, and honestly, I feel that it's not that I feel, I know that there is spirituality, healing, meditation has exploded in the past, I guess, 10 years. And it's like going in a big supermarket where everywhere you can, no, do this, try this, no, this will change your life, no, this will change your life. And me and the people that I know, we are kind of desperate in this supermarket, waiting for promotions, queuing and so on, and we try this and we try that, and this hurts and this is painful and this is this, and we are just seekers and never settling in something that really shows results in terms of well-being. So what do I do in the supermarket? Where do I go?
That's a interesting question as well, because I agree with you, because there is a lot of people offering a lot of methods, techniques, tools, and some come from a lineage from the past. Some are associated to religions, some are associated to neo-religions and new ways of doing things. See, the fundamental guiding point is, what is it that you need or want at this point of time? So do I want to become free of a certain condition that I'm going through? Maybe it is a mental condition. So is it something that I want to become free of? Either in the form of healing, in the form of right understanding. So something that I want to become free of. Then there is the other aspect, which is I want to gain something. First is to become free of something. The second is to gain something. I want to become happier. I want to become more peaceful. I want to become more detached around life, or I want to have more success. So people have different needs at different stages of their life. So depending on what your need is presently, and depending on what stage of your life you are, what tools will work for you changes. This is number one. Number two is it depends on the kind of personality that you are physically, your constitution of your body, constitution of your mind. Some people are what we call in Ayurveda, we call it like a Vata type, like, the wind type. So they are moving constantly, they are more nervous. So, when you go through that constitution, the kind of practices that you should bring into your life will be different. When you are in the Kapha constitution, which is the water element, then, those people are much slower, they are much more grounded. But their challenge will be in moving faster, in changing faster. So for those people, the kind of practices, the kind of tools that they need to use, again, considering the first point, again, the time of the stage of their life and the needs presently. So these things dictate what would work for an individual. Now, this is having said to this point. There is also what is available for us in different places, different times. Sometimes we didn't get some of these things. We don't have much idea about it. So we move through all of this. All these factors determine what you need at that point.
But Rajesh, the criteria that you mentioned requires lots of self-knowledge. And the reason for which we are searching is self-knowledge. You see what I'm saying? I mean, the criteria that you mentioned is know your type, whether you are more extrovert, introvert, restless, or do you need more action? Do you need more to slow down?
No, I would say, it's not about getting more studying different theories around all of these things. It's just a simple observation. See, for example, if I'm hungry and I know I am hungry, and then if I wait on it a little bit more and I ask myself, okay, is it a hungry where I can eat one sandwich, or is it a hungry where I need a full meal? Is it something? And what would work for me? Like, in the past I had this food and then it has not worked for me. So this kind of a basic understanding of where we are and what kind of type. Some people can't sit even for 3 minutes and then they feel highly restless. Maybe they have a ADHD condition or something else. And then by nature they are of such type. So just recognizing ourselves as such, we don't need to have...
Like I'm agitated and I need to slow down.
Exactly.
Right? And then let's say, what my problem is whom do I ask? You see what I'm saying? I mean, everybody everywhere is promoting themselves as, that's the thing for everything.
Yes.
Tony Robbins, come here and we change your life. This and that. It doesn't matter the names. Everybody is claiming that if you do this, your life is changing. And we are not educated to have discernment in choosing what fits us. I have discernment in choosing what color shall I wear, or what clothes are okay for me, or what food should I eat. But in choosing what will calm my nervous system, what will increase my what will balance my nervous system, what will enhance my life experience, I have no criterias.
Exactly. See, everyone starts, even with the dress sense. When we are younger, we don't have a dress sense. Some people have better dress sense than others. Then there is a trial and error method. So we go through a trial, we try things, we fail perhaps, and then we slowly find the way it works for us. And then what would work for me, what would not work for me. So this trial and error method is true for all people. Then we need to invest ourselves. I call it like digging a well in one place instead of in many, many places. So once we invest ourselves into a particular practice that we are comfortable with and a particular system that is much more comfortable with our value systems or with our cultural systems. So these things are essential because only then we are more grounded in it, and then we can take the benefit of what that is to offer.
Mm-hmm.
And it can change over time as we grow or as we move to different phases of life. It can change. But the commitment towards that part at that moment is important. That's why I would say, instead of trusting people who sell or give these choices or teach all of these methods, we have to trust the outcome of what we are experiencing. Trust the outcome. I take a particular tool, I practice it maybe for a few months, and then once I see this tool has helped me so much, and this tool has not helped me so much.
Mm-hmm.
So from that, I take the benefit of what it is doing, and then I also put it aside like, okay, this is not working. Because everything will not work for everybody, whatever the claims are.
Okay, so try it for a while.
Sincerely.
Sincerely,
yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and then when something works. The second point on that is, when something works, take it. But the second point of it is, see if whatever these tools that we are taking in are a bit more integrated and grounded. Because
now, this is what I didn't understand yesterday when we spoke.
See, let me give a very different example here. If somebody says, I give you a tool, like a mental tool or some tools with which you can make a lot of money, you can be very successful, you can become a multimillionaire in a year or so, would we ask a question like, okay, what are the downsides of this method? What will I have to give up? Does it cover my health while I'm doing this whole process? Does it also address my relationship with other people? If they say like, okay, get out of your family, go out there, do it for 3 years and then come back to your family as a millionaire. So what does it cost? So when I say integrated, whatever we are trying to do, it should be integrated with our real life. That's all. To all our other aspects of our life and
to be
needs.
Suitable with our lifestyle.
Yes, and lifestyle and our needs. See, our needs are in so many aspects. So it should be grounded in reality. It should otherwise somebody peddles something like, you can levitate and you can fly today, tomorrow, and then like, why?
Why would I levitate?
Exactly.
When
I can pay
a problem. Yes.
Or I can pay $1,000 and take a flight.
Mm-hmm.
Or $100 and take a flight. So
it's like being very pragmatic.
It's being very pragmatic.
I'm agitated. Okay, what do I need? I need a practice that will calm my mind. I'm asking ChatGPT, what are the practices? No, really, to calm my mind. And I'm picking one, okay? And I'm checking it, I'm doing it sincerely with presence, with 100%. I'm doing it for 1 month or 1 week or 2 weeks and see if I get the results that I need.
Exactly.
Okay.
As you try it, slowly you will find your way around like this works for me, like yoga works for me. Oh, no, Pilates works for me. No, walking works for me. So once you do that, then you settle down in a set of practice.
Mm-hmm.
See, whether you find a teacher or you just find a tool, it's up to us. Sometimes we find a teacher with whom we can resonate. And then the teacher is usually helpful because the teacher in many cases, has passed through that path and knows the pitfalls. Like I've traveled this 5 times and I know where all we will fall or we'll have an accident. So I can help you when you come to that point. And when you fall there, I can tell you like this is not the end of the story. I've fallen before and I know it. So the teacher is more a guide who helps us in the path. It is not about delivering whatever they are promising, It's not about like, okay, I will deliver that thing, It's not about delivering. I don't believe in people who say, I will deliver all of those things. I say, we need a teacher where they will help us in the path. There could be one path that you take maybe for a month, maybe for a week, maybe for a year, maybe for 5 years. And then once that path is completed with that person, then you walk away, then you find the other one. Eventually slowly you will find something that is more sustainable for your mindset. So then there is a greater investment of commitment in that pathway. So that's why it is for the individual to choose which method would work. For some people, Raja Yoga, that is the visualizations and then, energy fields and all of that would work very, very well. For some other people, they are more mind oriented and like intellectual, and then they say for me philosophy works, and with that philosophy and I gain wisdom, and with that wisdom I work. For some other people, they say, okay, meditation practice, like age-old meditation practices, like focus meditation, mindfulness practices, and those things work for me very well. And then with the help of that, I take wisdom. Then with the help of that, I go and work on my heart. So whichever path you take, eventually they come to certain fundamentals. That fundamentals of a spiritual growth. When I use the word spiritual, I use it in a very practical, pragmatic sense. For me, spirituality is about living life in this lifetime with the best outcome, as in being peaceful, being happy, being successful in whatever we want to achieve or have, and then being expanding our consciousness to as much as possible to include. The more our consciousness is expanded, which real meditations do, the more we are expanded, the less we have conflict with the world and the world around us. So I would say the purpose of a spiritual journey or a practice should be to expand our consciousness. Expanding our consciousness includes 3 aspects. The first aspect is sharpening or cultivating our awareness, our ability to see, our ability to be focused, our ability to pay attention
to what's going on in the world with us and with our surroundings.
Inside, outside, everything. So that we need to cultivate through right practices. So along with this comes the second part, which is opening up our heart. The heart space is the ability to hold as I said, the world, the bigger space, hold more than ourselves, the other person, then the person next to us. So the bigger space, to hold that space, we need to open up through gratitude, through compassion, through loving kindness, through different ways of connecting with the world. So that is the heart space. So knowing, opening up, the cultivating the heart space. Then the third one is have right understanding about the world around us. Right understanding or right wisdom is that which aligns with the nature of life around us. If somebody says this microphone is going to be there for eternity, I would not believe it. Why would it? It will die. Maybe in 50 years, maybe in 100 years, it will become part of the earth again. So that claim that this microphone will live eternally or Rajesh will live eternally is a false claim which doesn't go along with the understanding of our life. So that is the way. That is wisdom. This is itself is wisdom.
Okay.
So when we open up with awareness and open up the heart, wisdom starts arising, whether through a teacher or through yourself from within. Because once we start seeing clearly the nature of how things work, start seeing clearly, then we know life works, whether it is internally as in our mind, the flow of our emotions, the nature of our self, or externally as in the interconnection between different aspects of life and what is happening to you, what is happening to the other person, how life flows. So all of this understanding has to grow step by step. It is not like, we read one book and then we take it.
I understand why my challenge, and as I see around me, the challenge with the people that I know is that there is so much information out there that it gets it's too much,
Yes.
and we don't have the criteria. Like, for example, you say, okay, open your heart. Cool. So what do I do to open my heart? From where what do I do? Do I go now on Insta? Do I go on Facebook? Do I use ChatGPT? You see what I'm saying? I mean, for you, it's it's like, oh yeah, open your heart, but how do we do that?
No. See, these are all information dispensers, or whether it is ChatGPT or Instagram or any of these things. That is not where we go. That is the first step for 30 minutes. That's all.
Then where do we go?
We go into the practice. ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT, and it gives you a practice.
But how do I choose the...
Start somewhere. We always have to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
When I started my first meditation, when I was maybe in my teens or something, and then, I sat there and I have no idea what I was doing, and I had access to some books about something which said something else. And then I was sitting there and I was maybe half daydreaming. Maybe, I don't know what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
But somewhere I started, and then somewhere I started doing something else. So eventually I found a spiritual teacher in my life, and then that teacher guided me. And eventually I questioned the teacher, questioned the whole process and everything, till it came to a point where I could put my trust into that space, into that practices around it, into the person of that personage of the teacher. So then there was guidance, and then the guidance would take us. So at some other stage in my life, later on in my life, I moved away from that teacher, and then I found other teachers in my life. But now I had an understanding of what is real and what is important in my life and what I want. So now my choice of teachers were different. And then I journey with somebody for some time. And then maybe then I find somebody else with whom I can work something.
Mm-hmm.
So, but eventually what this journey will develop, like how we develop a career as well. We start somewhere, we become an intern somewhere, and then we don't know, we learn the ropes of it. And then slowly and steadily. The other part of it is some people like to be the searchers and seekers. So that is a pitfall that is I've seen a lot in these spiritual journeys.
Mm-hmm.
That is, they are somehow addicted to something that is new, or something that is in vogue right now, or their own journey in I know this, I know a lot of things. So for me, I think it is a complete distraction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to know all things that is there. I don't try every method that comes out there. I have my basics, which is okay, I have to improve my awareness, whatever helps me to improve my awareness, my existing practice, and I continue that practice, I strengthen my practice. So that's why I say, keep digging in one place, you will find everything, because underneath, all waters are connected. So underneath, all wisdom are connected. We can take a religious path, a Christian path or a Hindu path or a Buddhist path. And underneath, as you find it deeper and deeper and deeper, distractions are always in the surface. Everybody, they get a new angle around things. They write a new book, or they have a new podcast or something. It's like looking at this mug. Somebody looks at it from a particular angle, and then they say nobody has seen it this way, so I'm going to show them this can be seen this way. But everybody is talking about only the mug. So in my opinion, I'm saying it's still only the mug. So it's okay if I read one person who says this is how I saw the mug. But my point is, when am I going to see the mug? My purpose is I want to see the mug. I don't want to read people seeing the mug.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to see other people's experiences about seeing the mug. I want to see the mug myself. They are good because they give me an idea that the mug exists. And that's it. So how I get there, maybe I start with somebody's ideas first, if I have no idea myself. Then slowly I go through that path. Then you forge your path there. Either you go through a time-tested path, which is like, a practices that has been going on through lineages, like a Buddhist practices, Hindu practices, some of the Christian practices, or some other modern day teachers who has brought a practice which has worked and then which connects with you. You can take that path, or you can make your own path. The problem with making our own path is we don't know what the pitfalls are, and we don't know if we got stuck in some place and then we cannot getting out of it. So that is why it is better to have a time-tested path. So many of these spiritual practices have been tested over time by so many people and then acknowledged, So I would suggest that taking that path is much safer than something
like something that is an old practice and tested.
Time tested by many people who have gone through that process. And then, it is like, a scientific journal tells you like, okay, this is it. And, we all approve that this method works. So like a theory that is proposed. So exactly like that. So it is better to use that one, or you can use both. Like, as I would say, a spiritual practice which helps you and takes you deeper and helps you in your journey. And then sometimes when we have an immediate issue that we need to resolve, then you can use some breathing techniques from here, and you can use a philosophy that works, a healing that works through somebody. That is okay. That is all helpful for us in the journey. But then your spiritual journey has to slowly and steadily. Nothing happens in a day. We don't get a eureka moment and then this is it right away. Everything starts, we build, and then we continue to do the practice. But the fundamentals, as I say, are essential, that we have to keep in mind. Does it improve my awareness, or does it ask for a blind belief around something? Then you have to be careful wherever,
When there is a blind belief.
When there is blind belief, without being able to question the method or the system. The blind belief or a belief comes later. Once you tested it all, then you have to go full in. Because then if we keep on questioning every step of everything, then we don't go anywhere. We don't make progress, because our mind itself will be an impediment to whatever we want to go. So we have to question enough, and then we have to find that, okay, this one works for me, or this teacher's teachings work for me, or these methods work for me. Then I'm going full on. So then we have to go. If there is somebody who can help you in that path, it will be well and good. When the Buddha comes down from Nepal, today's Nepal, and then he goes to the forest, and then he finds that period of time was high in spirituality and New Age spirituality at that time. There were people doing different things and different philosophies. The marketplace was pretty big, at that time even. So he goes. He knows he has a condition which is like, I want to be free of this suffering. He's found out his suffering. He wants to be free of his suffering, but he doesn't know how. So he goes to one teacher first and learns something for quite some time, and then learns something years, and he masters it. And then at the end of mastering it, and he finds like, but yeah, it brings so many things, but it doesn't solve the real problem why I came here. Then he goes to the next teacher, and then he masters that. He even goes like into states of non-perception, so many states. And then he finds at one point that as long as I'm in meditation, I'm in utmost peace. But when I come out of meditation into normal life, all of these things come back to me. So that is not the real solution then. So he goes on working on different techniques and tools and philosophies.
As the problem arises, yes.
And then he discovers, oh, this doesn't work. Okay, then I go. Only then eventually at each level there is a layer that is removed. There is a clarity that happens, insights that he gets. Then eventually meditating upon, one day meditating under that Bodhi tree, and then he becomes this bag of bones, and he's super tired, and he's not eaten. That's when something changes for him. So the path is not always visible directly, but if you belong to a culture where there is a path, that is easily given. It's easily available. But even then, we have to at some point discover if it is my path. So there's always that question.
The way I see it is that nobody teaches you the criterias to choose.
Many people teach criterias. Now, that is also a big market of criteria. So again, if you go into that, see, people have taught criterias. It's just the question of whom do we follow. If you follow a particular religion, say I come from a Hindu religion background, you know how many criterias and how many teachers we have in Hinduism who have given criterias of how you should start a spiritual journey. There are so many. So everywhere there are criterias around the world. Everywhere they have given so many things. If you just scratch the surface, if you go into a Theravada Buddhism, if you go into a Mahayana Buddhism, and then the first book would start with all the criterias like, okay, we can guide you in this place. And if you go into Hinduism, a Shaivism, if you go a Vedanta path, if you go into a Kriya Yoga path, there are so many paths, and all of those paths.
So it's trial and error. This is what you say.
Exactly.
Know what you want. For example, if you are an overthinker, right?
Know your pain point.
Know your pain point and talk with people around you if they had the same issue, how they addressed it.
Maybe it will work for you, maybe it will not.
Maybe not. Try it for a couple of weeks, see if it works. If it brings you the results that you desire, if they bring you the results that you desire, you keep on going, because consistency is another issue.
Yes, consistency. That's why a lot of people are spiritual shoppers, window shoppers. They keep going and going and going, and that is not useful. In the long run, it is like a badge, like I'm a seeker badge, but then seekers are not at peace. They are constantly running. So they may be running for something what they call as special, but then the running is running.
Yeah.
It's not different from going on shopping for clothes.
Yes,
so it's the same.
Yes, you transfer this habit to the spiritual world.
Some other world.
Okay.
See, the criteria is your need.
Your need, okay.
And then questioning if it works. It need not deliver everything that you want. But if it delivers some aspect, and then as you grow, as you evolve, you move, and then to one stage you find this tool is much more sustainable. It can take me through different layers of my needs that may arise now and henceforth. Then you continue digging, continue establishing yourself in a practice. And in the pathway, if you find your guru, your teacher, whoever it may be, and then after a point you need to surrender to that teacher. After all due diligence, surrender to that teacher so that the teacher can guide you into the next phase. Even if you are learning to dive, scuba diving, you have to somehow trust that trainer who is going to take you underwater. So
it's the same with
spirituality. But then here we also give our mind and our heart and everything to in a vulnerable place to be guided. But that is also a part of the journey, because we cannot go beyond a point all by oneself. There needs to be some help, because the mind, when you go into a spiritual journey within oneself, the mind after a point plays a lot more games. We all see how our mind plays games, but the more you go deeper and deeper and witness the way the mind works, it plays a lot more games. So that's why we need help. But to start with, we can start by ourselves, find different methods, and go in this path. If it is so easy, if it is so clear from day one, I don't think there will be much learning happening. Anyway.
Yeah, right. It's a process. It's a road like for everything in life.
Exactly.
Finding the right partner, finding the right job, finding the right outfits.
Exactly.
The right color of your hair. It's just,
It's that path. We need to be patient. We need to be at it. And once we find it, we need to stick with it to go deeper.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay, good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for listening to this episode, watching this episode on meditation. Hopefully, meditation and spirituality, so to say. Hopefully, you will find some answers to your own questions, not only my questions. Please don't forget to subscribe to Mindfulness and Beyond and to Întrebări care ne schimbă viața. And see you in the next episode. Bye-bye!